All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews, and seeing as how we're approaching the end of the year, and this is like the first kind of almost full year that I've been doing videos consistently, I thought that I would announce that I'll be doing like a lot of best ofs. I'm going to be doing my best of, my least favorites, and my middle of the road kind of disappointing views of 2018. And so that's kind of the announcement of it. I will be doing those videos coming up. And so to do that, I am going to start with what I think are the best game of the year. I'm stuttering. It's been a long day. And so since pretty much all the games have come out, right? Nothing is coming out that's going to blow my skirt up. And as I played a lot of games this year, but having a 40-hour-a-week job and just life, I have not been able to game as much as I used to, and I still somehow managed to play a good chunk of the big games that came out this year. And so I'm trying to figure out what's the best game of the year for me. And I mean, it really is stacked, and depending on how you like to play and everything, the best game or your favorite game, it's kind of like maybe your favorite isn't the best game of the year, but like what you really enjoyed about it. And that's what I think. I mean, if I had to pick what's the best game of the year, well, that'd probably be Red Dead Redemption as far as like actual, like if it, like technically on a technical level, what's the best game? It's probably Red Dead Redemption, but it's not my best. It's not my favorite. Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a friggin' awesome game. It's so big and so mind-bogglingly, there's so much to do. And that's what a lot of the games this year is like. There's so much to do that it just is too intimidating right now. I have barely scratched the surface of that game, because I just can't give it the time that it deserves. Like I started going pretty good, but work and the holidays at work and stuff like that they were too much, and I put it down. Because I started like the online experience, which looked kind of all right. I did not like the economics about that, but I had to put it down. And I've played other games this year that, I really liked, some more than others. I mean, I played South Park, The Fractured But Whole. Funny, but the Stick of Truth was better, and I can't believe I'm saying that, because I really thought that this would be better. I did not play any of the DLCs for this, but I pretty much played it through pretty quickly, and I didn't feel the desire to go back to it. And that to me says that can't be like my favorite, game of the year. And I just, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is another huge game. Really, really just involved. And I love playing as Cassandra. I think she's probably easily in the best characters of the games of the year, of games this year. And she's one of the best characters, like, period, in games in a while. And she's probably definitely one of the best characters in Assassin's Creed. The only thing about this is that it getting further and further away from what Assassin's Creed is to me. It's basically like, it shouldn't be called Assassin's Creed. They could have made this about anything. They could have just been like Odyssey. They just, because this is really like a history lesson, and it just takes place in Greece, just like Assassin's Creed Origins could have just been called Egypt. Because it doesn't take away from the fun of the game, but it's just not really Assassin's Creed. They throw in the Assassins, stuff, just so that they can, make it part of this brand that we all recognize. I would have bought this game whether it was an Assassin's Creed game or not. I think that it holds up on its own. Another thing is it does just feel like they put a new skin on it, that they didn't really have to try that hard, but it does still look really good. I mean, I can't say that it doesn't look good. it just feels like I don't feel like they're breaking too much new ground. They're throwing a lot of things in there that are good. But if you like Assassin's Creed, and it really doesn't matter. And again, I've been with Assassin's Creed since the beginning, and I've been pretty loyal to it. And even though I want it to be more Assassin's Creedy than it is, I do like the balls that they've had to go in a different direction and give us new things and not be the same thing. But unfortunately, for some people, we just want the same thing over and over and over. Kind of like how I feel about another game coming up. Another game I played a lot of is Ni no Kuni 2, The Revenant Kingdom. I love Studio Ghibli. Sorry, I don't know how to say that properly ever. Never been able to say that properly. The animation studio. Ni no Kuni 1, I couldn't believe I liked. I had a friend get me into that, and he's like telling me it's kind of like Pokemon, you know, like with the way he does. It's not Pokemon, so nobody get mad. But he's like, he was trying to figure out a way to tell me what it was like, you know, and they have these little monsters and you fight with them and everything. And I got into it pretty good. I liked it a lot. And then this one came out, and it's a whole new different thing. I really dig its style. I don't like the skirmishes that you have to get into. I like tower. It made me feel like I was playing tower defense or something, and I'm not into that. There's so much going on in this game, and it's so big that it is a little overwhelming. I was having fun with it, but again, with the way that my time is spent, I'm going to sound hypocritical in a little bit, but I could not. I wanted to give more time into it, but I just couldn't yet. I'm waiting for I don't know what I'm waiting for, but so let's see, what else did I play this year? Well, Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man PS4. Now, that game, again, I had a lot of fun with Spider-Man. Here's the thing, is I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. While I was playing it, and I was so addicted to the movement and the combat style and the different ways I could take things on. And I like the story okay. Like the whole thing with his buddy from the foundation that Aunt May works for, that was just really boring. And then you got the Mary Jane Miles Morales levels. I don't mind that they're included in the story. If you've watched any of my other videos, like my review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I'm not the biggest Miles Morales fan. Nothing against him, just don't really care. And Mary Jane, look, I like Mary Jane as a side character and everything. She's fine, but this is Marvel's Spider-Man, not Spider-Man and friends, you know, do some stealth levels that are boring and pointless. They really are. They're pointless. They don't, you know, they're just there to pad out the game. And even though there's another thing that drove me fucking crazy about Spider-Man. And that's, I just kept hitting, anytime I would get near a fucking building, I would just attach to it. And I would always be like in the middle of a groove going, and I'd just touch the wall and I'd stick to it. I'd be like, get the fuck off the wall, get the fuck off the wall. It got to be maddening, where I was just like, get the fuck off the goddamn wall. And so for that reason alone, I couldn't make this my favorite game. Even though I really liked the hideout levels. I thought those were so much fun to tackle. I wanted to, like, I would start them over and over and over again to get them perfect. So the combat and stuff, this game, if this game didn't have some of the little bits, like if they took out the Mary Jane and the Miles Morales and the fucking sticking to the walls every 2 seconds, I probably would, this might have been my game of the year. And then after that, I've played. I'm going to talk about my runner-up. Now, this game, it came out a long ass time ago. But because Fallout 76, as soon as I heard Fallout 76 was a multiplayer game, going to be online only, I was so disappointed. So disappointed. And if that had been just another Fallout game, it probably would be my game of the year, just because, and almost in a biased way. I mean, it could have still sucked with the bugs going around. You know, the more you hear about Fallout 76, just how awful that whole thing has turned into. I mean, I called it way back when I heard about it. Not that I'm like some seer or anything. It just, as soon as I heard about it, I was like, nope. Why can't you just make another Fallout game, guys? I know you're trying to do new things, and that's great, but they've already got the stupid-ass mobile game, so, you know, just stick with what we got. I mean, there is Fallout Miami that somebody's making, that looks way better than that. But to fill in the hole that Fallout left, I started playing Skyrim. Now, I know that game is old news, but I never really gave Skyrim a chance because I like Fallout because I got my plasma rifles and I like the gun aspect. I like first-person shooters. I like Fallout 3. I like Fallout New Vegas. I like that style of gameplay. I like having a bunch of guns. So knives and swords and axes and bows and arrows, and that just was like, I didn't think, every time I tried to play Skyrim, I was just like, it's such a slog for me. And I finally went, well, if I can't play Fallout 76, I'm going to finally give Skyrim a chance. And good God. Okay, so this is where I sound like a hypocrite because like these games like Ni no Kuni 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey are big games. And they've been like too much for me because I just worked too hard. But for some reason, I have been making room for freaking Skyrim. I am level 25 in Skyrim. I cannot stop playing Skyrim. If this game had come out this year, this would have been my game of the year. I am so mad that I never gave this game a chance. I kept putting it back on the shelf and everything. And just to tell you like why I love this game, even though this has nothing to do with 2018, I want to make this my favorite game of 2018, even though it didn't come out. But we're playing. I'm going to play by the rules and still say that this is going to get an honorable mention just because for me it's kind of new. So this is why I would make it game of the year if it came out this year. I'm playing this mission where I'm supposed to get this staff. And I go into this room, and there's these vampires, or no, not vampires, they're like mages. There's like a really powerful one in there that I didn't know about, and I go in there, and they just keep smoking me, or they smoke me and my companion. I mean, as soon as the real mage gets on me, I am getting wasted. So I finally start trying to figure out how to take this room out and get to that staff. And I finally get to where I go in and I snipe somebody with a bow and arrow and then I run away. And then I go back in there and I get a little closer and I snipe another person with a bow and arrow and I run away. And I go back in there and I take out two people with a bow and arrow and I run away. And finally, I go, there's only one person left, and it's the major mage. The one that keeps fucking me up. And so I remembered I can turn into a werewolf. So I go in there, I turn into a werewolf, and I go at this mage like, just full on it. I start attacking, and all of a sudden, the screen goes black. I went, what the hell? Did the game just break on me? All of a sudden, I'm in this whole other realm. And I have no idea how I got there. And I'm still thinking, what happened to the game? What is going on? So I'm there as a werewolf, and I start charging forward. I'm like, where the hell am I? Maybe somehow I teleported outside of the dungeon I was in. and I'm back outside, or maybe I died and and I came back outside. I don't know what's going on. And I run into this group of people, and they all see me, a werewolf, standing there, and they all just start fucking attacking me, and they kill me. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I die, and I come back, and I'm back in that realm again, and I'm a werewolf still. And I go, okay, well, I ran forward, and those guys just killed me. So I wait for myself to turn back into a human, and then I go up there, and I walk up to this guy who wanted me to get the staff. And it turns out that this guy is like a demon, and he turns into this, stops using his human form, turns into a demon, and tells me that it was all a practical joke. I'm like, what is happening in this game? And so he sends me back, and I'm transported out of the place. I'm all the way back, like, I don't even know where I ended up. But, so I left my companion in that dungeon. So I had to fast travel all the way back to the place to get her. And I go back in there, and I find her, and I go, okay, well, you know what? Since there's just the mage back in there, and we beat the actual mission, let's go in there and finish that mage off. So me and the companion go back down in there to take out the mage, and just as I get in there to fight the mage, there's the dude that was the demon killing the mage for me. He takes her out and just stands there, walks up to me and goes, what? I was blown away, but that one experience of I felt like, what the fuck is going on? Anything can happen in this game, it seems like. And so that is my Skyrim story. And that is why, if it was new this year, I would have been making that my game of the year. But instead, I'm going to make it the game that I loved playing the most this year, even though it didn't come out this year. Now, my game of the year came down to two choices. One is Far Cry 5. Now, Far Cry 5, again, kind of like Fallout and other games like Red Dead, has bugs in it. But I had a blast at Far Cry 5. I have so many fun memories of just random shit going on in Far Cry 5 that I can't even list them all here. And I platinumed the game. But the problem with it at the end, and the end was kind of disappointing, but now it's a little less disappointing when you hear about the new Far Cry game coming out. That has, a direct correlation to the ending of Far Cry 5. The other thing about Far Cry 5 is once I platinumed it and got everything that I needed to, there was no replayability to me. I just felt like, oh, that's it. And it was different with Far Cry 4. And Far Cry 3, where I would just go back in and play and discover new things. There was I didn't even finish all the missions and I had platinumed this thing, and I just kind of felt like that was weird. And then we get to the DLC. Vietnam is a great idea for a DLC, but it was just boring. And the Mars was even more boring, even though it was really cool to look at. And I thought it was, a different take, a really different, interesting take, same as Vietnam, but it's just boring. And at that point, I didn't even bother playing the zombie one because zombies, it just felt like too close to Call of Duty zombies and everybody's zombie this and zombie that. And so I was like, okay, well then what's my other option here? My other option is God of War. Now, I am biased because I don't have an Xbox One. So I haven't played any Xbox games, if you're wondering why I'm only picking games that are on PlayStation. Not all of them are, though. Cooney and Red Dead and all that aren't, and Far Cry isn't. But God of War I love the original God of War series. And I was so wondering what they were going to do with this, and I was wondering if the kid was going to suck. And even though I did not platinum this game, I'm pretty close. And I haven't done New Game Plus, but the experience of God of War was just so gosh darn fucking fun. I say gosh darn and then fucking. That it's hard not to put this in the conversation for sure, because I enjoyed so much of this. Every little inch of exploration, every time I opened up a new thing, every time I had to go back and use something from before to open up a new area, I was obsessed with opening up the whole map and seeing every little bit of this universe, this new world that Kratos was in. That I didn't care about, like, how it slowed down the combat at times and went with this really interesting story that really smartly infused the original series with this new thing they're trying to do. And so by that basis alone, even though, you know, they don't need DLC, they don't need anything, they just came out with a kick-ass God of War game that surpassed my expectations. I will end up going back and doing New Game Plus. I will be going after all the Valkyries. I will go back, and this does have replayability, and the only reason I haven't replayed it is because so much comes out that it's hard to get back to things, especially, like I said, when you work a full-time job. So God of War is my favorite game this year. I think it's the best game of the year, besides the technical issue, you know, like the big, you know, badass that is Red Dead Redemption, and how it's pretty much unstoppable for most people. I just think on a level of enjoyment, when I was playing God of War, that was it. I mean, it's just a fantastic game, and I cannot wait to see what they're going to do next with it. So anyway, that's my take. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, this is me trying to do a best of 2018 review. And that's going to be kind of the template of going forward of my best of the year, worst of the year, the most disappointing of the year. We'll be talking about movies, TV, comics, in all those videos, especially since the channel is really plateaued. I do want to thank anybody that still watches my channel. We were growing really, really well, and then we just kind of flattened out. And because of work, I haven't been cranking out the videos as much. There's not as much exciting stuff to talk about. I was really disappointed in the response to Aquaman, which is came out. I got that video up a week before the movie even came out, and even though the big boys hit it, I was ahead of other people like Jeremy Jahns and Chris Stuckman and stuff. And I thought on that general alone, I would get some views, and I don't even think I've hit 100 views on that, and it's just really disappointing. It's just really disappointing, and it's hard to, like, when you have a bunch of subscribers, you know, I haven't hit 500. That was the goal, and I don't even think I'm going to hit that this year. But I'm still going to keep trying. I am still getting a better thing to make videos on, but life and the world and everything makes things kind of hard to get that done. I should be hopefully I'm getting a laptop to hopefully record better stuff and be able to edit videos and put clips in and things like that. But anyway, yeah, it's just kind of been, this has been an amazing year for my channel, but at the same time, coming to a close, it's kind of ending disappointing. And as we were moving so good, all of a sudden it just kind of plateau out. It's just been kind of sad and kind of disheartening, and makes me, you know, like, I had to make this video just to keep myself kind of up, to not get out of making videos to where you can just, like, 2 weeks could go by and go, oh yeah, I haven't made a video yet. So anyway, I know I've kind of gotten off topic, all the way off topic, but I just needed to get that off my chest. So anyway, this is Robin Smirky Gun Review saying I hope you like this video. If you do, hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe if you want, all that stuff. Otherwise, we will see you on the next video.